Sauna Sisters podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal, health or professional advice. Thank you for listening.
Hello and welcome to the Sauna Sisters podcast. I'm Sarah.
I'm Jen.
And we're two women brought together through a love of open water swimming, sauna and honest conversations about health and well-being, navigating menopause ourselves. We're at the beautiful Quay Sauna and Lake in Mitchin, which you can see behind us, and it's a really beautiful day today. And this month is a little different because we're joined by our two swim friends. So we've got Louise and Sarah. And together we'll be sharing experiences and conversations around women's health, well-being and the different ways we support ourselves and each other through midlife. So, whether you're listening after a swim, on a walk, or just taking a quiet moment for yourself, we're really glad you're joining us for another Sauna Sisters conversation.
Okay. Sorry.
Right, do you want to come?
Like Terry Wogan.
Oh.
Okay. So yes, here we are with our very dear friends Louise and Sarah, and they have been with us on our swimming and sauna journey and joined in all of our crazy conversations about what goes on. So that's why we thought it fitting that they join us on our podcast today. So we're going to ask them a little bit about how their menopause journey has been. So Louise, how has it been for you?
Well, it's been a bit up and down. I feel as though now I'm coming towards not towards the end, because I don't think you ever finish, do you? But you know, a lot of the symptoms that were quite strong beforehand have definitely reduced in their severity. It was probably about 7 years ago that I first thought about, I'm feeling a little bit hot flushes and maybe not sleeping so well at night. I don't know if any of you have found the same.
So yeah, that's something that I've suffered from as well. Are there any other symptoms that you have?
Yeah, other things would be itching skin and also brain fog.
Yeah,
so,
I think we've all got the
We
brain fog.
spoke about that a lot in our last
and actually
one.
the itchy skin, I think, is something that a lot of women don't realise can be part of menopause. So yeah, that's a very good one, because there are so many symptoms. And we don't actually, get told all of them when we're, looking into it.
It's not till someone else goes, actually, I think I've got this, and you go, oh wow, I've got it too, and then you can go, right, well, what's going on there? So,
yeah, that's right.
absolutely. So, how's the journey been for you, Sarah?
I'm at the completely different point to you, aren't I? So I have no idea where I am in my menopause journey. I don't know whether I'm perimenopause, I don't know whether I'm menopause, because until people at work, I work in a school with Louise, until people mention it, it wasn't something growing up or my parents ever spoke about, because they're a generation you don't say things. So I had no idea until the teacher I work with started saying, I'm getting hot sweats, and I was thinking, don't really understand. So the only thing I really noticed, I haven't had the hot flush that you guys have said you've had. The only thing I realised was my brain just completely. I went back to teaching a couple of years ago, and the difference between then and when I started was complete. I couldn't remember things. The frustration of going to say a word, and it can be something as simple as water bottle or something like that, and I couldn't think of it.
No.
I end up describing what it is.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing a whole charades thing.
Yes.
And then they go, water bottle, and you go, yes, that's the one.
And they look at you as if you're, why could she not think of a water bottle?
Did that sort of bring you any sort of stress or anxiety when you were doing that you thought, oh no, why are things going so wrong? Why can't I deliver a job that I was, I'm really capable of doing? Yeah.
I started questioning myself, because I'd come back to teaching after probably 20 years full time. I came back, and you just doubt your ability for everything. I wouldn't say I got anxious. It was just another ball I had to juggle.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
I have a very overactive imagination. I just think things through, and suddenly you've got another thing that you're thinking. Rather, your children are getting older and things like that, and you're like, oh, why can't I think? Or
So yeah, it does affect your, not, is it just affecting you cognitively to be able to get the word and remember what you're doing, but it's also affecting your mental and emotional state by bringing that self-doubt in. So yeah, it's a really important thing.
And I like to be in control of things. I like a world where everything is a certain way, and that's not that sideways.
Yeah.
Because I can't be in control of my brain, and why can't I be in control of my brain?
Yeah.
So it just...
And did you voice this to anybody that you worked with?
Probably you're the closest person I am with
Yeah.
that. I probably went to Luke because I remember you going to a course, and I remember you talking about it. But there's not a lot of time when you're teaching, or any time. I guess here when we come swimming and things like that, you've got that downtime where you can talk about it. Yeah. But you just feel really silly, and sometimes you feel quite alone because you feel, okay, everyone else seems to be got it together, and you know everyone else is woo, look at me, I'm fine.
But I think that is women in general.
Yeah.
We keep it together, and we don't always let it out, do we?
No.
So
We're like the swans, aren't we, on the lake? You know, they just drift along, and yet underneath you're like, paddling around.
And because when anyone mentioned menopause, they said hot flushes, and because I had a bit of a raising temp, but I didn't have the flash hot flush. Well, that's menopause, isn't it? So what I'm having with my brain fog in my head didn't go with what everyone else has, because
exactly my journey.
menopause equals hot flushes.
But that's what everybody talks about.
Yeah.
But that is not everybody gets them.
No.
And there are an awful lot of other symptoms that come along with menopause, with our hormonal changes. So that's it's something we need, I think, far more education on. You know, for the women coming up, you know, for the younger, because as you know, some people are getting their menopause symptoms, you know, perimenopausal, you know, in their late 30s, you know, onwards. So it's something we do really need to talk about more.
So did your symptoms affect you in the workplace, as you work kind of in the same similar place?
Well, only that you can't leave the room because you're there with all the children, aren't you, really? So you just have to deal with it that way. I do find the people at work really supportive, and I think that's been, you know, invaluable, being able to talk to them about it and seeing what they're going
Am
through.
I right in saying you work in a majority female environment?
Yes, absolutely. And although at home I'm not, I'm in a very male-dominated, environment.
So how did you find the difference?
So, well, we have a lot of banter in our house. I have 3 boys, my 3 bearded boys, and my husband, and there's a lot of banter that goes on. And so if I'd forget something, if I was trying to describe something, where I'd go, quick, I need to open all the windows because I'm boiling hot and the temperature's up, you know. It would just sort of be seen as a joke, but I think they've got more of an understanding now, having, you know, gone through that and just explained, and to see how I'm reacting to it and dealing with it. And I just think it's important for them to know, so hopefully they'll be more sympathetic.
One would hope so. And how was it at home for you? How do your family support you?
I've got a daughter and 2 sons, and mine is slightly younger than yours, and I think it just frustrated them because I'd go to say something, and normally I'd say it quite quickly, and because I couldn't finish the sentence, it was very much a, Mum, what is wrong with you? You know, it's that kind of. And at that age, it's not something, it's something, you know, someone talks about, but it's not something they have any understanding.
No, of course not.
Any understanding. So, I wouldn't say there's a great understanding.
No.
But then I don't think my understanding is great. So I can't, apart from saying, look, this is something I'm going through, I can't think of the words sometimes. It's not a conversation you generally have with your family. Or I don't, in our house, we don't tend to have it. But...
So you mentioned a couple of times that you've been on a course. So tell us a little bit about that.
So it was run by our in one of the centres in town, the Fleet Heart Centre, and they just took you through different aspects. You know, how it can affect different people, and everybody is different. Everybody's journey is very very different, and they gave you some helpline, you know, information where you could get help. some things that you can do, so certain foods that are useful to eat, maybe some alcohol to avoid and some alcohol that you can drink. You know, that
put special
sort of
notes
but
there,
it was
didn't
that,
they?
so it was that sort of thing. So it was
Okay.
quite useful. And I actually I heard about it through somebody at work actually, and they were saying, oh, you know, you might be interested in coming along. So
and it was open to all. It was like put through the local health authority, or
I am not too sure.
Sure,
I just heard this through a friend. She might have just seen it.
So
on
again,
Facebook.
that kind of female grapevine that
Yeah.
gets it out to
Definitely.
people. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. And so, I mean, Sarah and I, you know, we are always delving into different things, other people's podcasts, books, websites, to try and find out what's my symptom, how can I try and manage that in a nice, healthy and practical way. So have you two have sort of found, I mean, you've been on your course, but have you found any other real interesting nuggets anywhere that you would share?
I think because it's, you know, with technology now, the minute you put one thing about menopause, whether it's menopause supplements or my hair, I'm losing my hair a bit more, suddenly you get bombarded with everything, every
Absolutely.
advert. And it's like, oh, well, they're saying collagen, they're saying I should be taking this, they're saying I should be taking these new vitamins or this shampoo or this hair. And it's too much, and it's kind of, then you put your head in the sand going, no, it's too much, I can't. So you don't know.
I think we get overwhelmed. I think with all the information that's out there, and now with AI as well, that like introduces even more into, you know, your searches. We just don't know what works and what doesn't work, you know, because these adverts are very good, they're very convincing now. You know, and you can end up spending a lot of money just trying to, you know, find something,
or you end up a bit like me, taking Upteen supplements a day because you believe them all, so you're just taking them all. So I think that's why it's really valuable, isn't it, to sort of talk to other women very openly and go, so, oh, what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you? Because I know I've had big conversations with friends of mine about sort of like taking reishi mushrooms for hot flushes, and I've just started taking it, and so far so good. And I know that, you know, one friend that I spoke to swore by it, whereas another one went 100% not for me. So I think, unfortunately, whilst we can all go out there and find out all these things, I think you have to kind of keep trying, don't you?
Because not everything works. It's the same. None of us have got the same symptoms.
No.
And different things will work for different women as well. So, you know, you can get a recommendation from a friend and you can try it and maybe it will work, but, you know, sometimes it won't. But, you know, it's another one that you've ticked off that...
and, you know, sharing and helping, isn't it? And just joining the community together so that we all get some more information.
But I don't think there's one quick fix for, you know, this will make your menopause skin better, this will make you not have I don't think there's just one product.
Which is why I think throughout our podcast what we hope to bring to everybody is things like mindfulness and breathing and sensible nutrition and things that we can do for ourselves on a base level that are hopefully going to help us to navigate
and
through.
certainly lifestyle choices. I think when you know, start to get symptoms, you know, with your hot flushes, with your brain fog and everything, you know, it's really taking a pause and actually looking at yourself and looking at what you're doing in your life, and are there little tweaks that you can make that actually will ease your symptoms.
And it's also, I think, sorry to interrupt, it's also, I know my mum's very funny about taking tablets, so I know people who've taken lots of tablets to help them, but you have that little voice from your mum that says you shouldn't be taking. So I'm like, right, I don't want to take a lot of tablets. And then a friend had, is it patches? What are the patches called?
Estrogen patches.
Yeah, from the doctors.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to. I just didn't feel right. So there's, I think what fits in with you.
You've definitely got to follow what's right for you. So from my point of view, I didn't feel at any stage that it was severe enough, or maybe it was, and I was able to cope with it, which is fine. Maybe not the sleeplessness, but so I haven't gone down that route. But then I also feel that my cold water swimming has been a huge part of that. That idea of that mindfulness, and even walking the dog. I'm walking the dog a lot on my own now, rather than with Frank, because I just need that time, that headspace really. And I think all those little things, and that's for me, but that doesn't mean to say that's going to work for somebody
No, but I
else,
think, as I was saying, those things like going out for a walk, we choose to go into the waters. For other people, it might be a different hobby. Those things that you switch off from everything that you're going through. It's just good for us, full stop. Absolutely. And it's what we all need to be doing. And if that can help us to find some management over these other symptoms that we're getting, then that's got to be a winner, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, and I was going to ask, what was something that you found really helped you, and you've already answered it with your cold water swimming. But that's great, just goes to show.
But it's more than that though, isn't it? I think for us it's that community, isn't it? And it's that sharing of an experience. And although it is ridiculously cold when we do it in the middle of winter, it's just being out in it. For me, it's that blue-green.
Blue-green therapy.
It's the therapy that feeds your soul. And that for me
whole nature.
Absolutely works.
Nature and grounding.
Yes, apart from swans, but that's when Sarah comes in because she protects me.
What about you?
Yeah, I do think the swimming, for me, I don't, scientifically, I don't know the benefits. I know there are benefits, but for me, going in the water is and you taught me this because when I'm stressed about something, I tend to go underwater, because if I go underwater, then what I'm stressed about I don't know if it's physically doing it, but for me, I leave it in the water. Yeah. And it's that, okay, I'm going under, and when I come out, it's not, for me, it's not the spiritual thing, it's not the kind of physical thing, it's just a mental thing. If I go in, and if I make myself, and I think that's, if I was on my own, I don't think some cold mornings I would get in the lake. Yeah. But when you have people going, come on, let's just go, you go in, you come out, and you go, yeah, I feel better for that, because I was stressing about that, I was thinking about something, and for me, when you go under the water, you just can't think about anything. No. So you kind of leave it in the water. So I think it's that. That's
beautiful.
You know, whole.
Yeah, so of course I've been talking a lot about mindfulness here. We do have our resident nutritionist here. So have you done anything food-wise or supplement-wise?
So introduced a lot more nuts into my diet, a lot more chickpeas into my diet, because I've told that. Decaf, so I don't have any caffeinated. Trying not to drink as much, not that I was drinking lots of alcohol, but, sort of trying to ease that down.
Yeah, because obviously that can actually affect your hot flushes as well.
Yes, absolutely. So and just trying to eat as healthily as possible. Yeah. But in school, it's not always easy, is it? Because someone's birthday, you bring in cake, and you're like,
it's difficult, isn't it? Yeah. See, I wonder whether you, because obviously you both work in the school and you're with the children all the time, but because one of the most important things is hydration. But do you find it difficult to drink enough during your day? If you need to go to the toilet or whatever it is, does that have any impact on?
I think I've started. Those who know me, I used to drink far too much Diet Coke, and I know I did. But years ago, I wanted to lose weight, and of course, a can of Coke was 0 points. So therefore, I drank Coke because drinking other things was, not helping me. So I made a conscious effort to get rid of that and start drinking. I'm not a water drinker, so I drink squash. So I have. Do I drink enough? Probably not.
That's excellent.
But that's brilliant that you're doing
Diet
that.
Coke
I remember
habit.
you stopped doing that, and I was like, yes, that is brilliant, and that's really.
Did you feel physical benefits when you finished?
When I first, when I was really ill because I was drinking stupid amounts, like 6 cans, something like that a day. I still occasionally, I'm not someone who would just, I'm going to cut everything out, but I definitely drink more squash now. I'll put my hands up, you're very good with your health. I'm awful, because when I get tired, yes, I've got a pot of fruit in my cupboard at school, but then I've also got a basket of snacks. So when you're tired, you go for the snacks.
You do,
You're not the only one.
And I think sometimes maybe in during the summer months when it's warmer, it's far easier to drink water or squash or whatever it might be. So I think you need to really make a concerted effort. But it's quite warm in school, isn't it? And obviously when you're having a hot flush, you're downing water. So I didn't find that. I found that not too bad.
But I think I've learned over the years not to beat myself up. I've followed you in the sense of yes, there was weight gain with menopause, or age, or whatever you call it. You know, definitely I was putting on weight, and I know you lost weight doing fasting. That's it. And I thought, right, I've tried everything else. I'll try that, and that really worked for me. Doing 12 till 8. However, some break times about 10:30, I'm starving. So I have something to eat, and I used to go, oh, that's really bad, that's really bad. And actually, you'd get to the point where you go, right, in life, does it matter?
No.
You know, you don't beat yourself up for the things you're not doing, and you kind of go, well, look at what I am doing.
Hey,
you know,
that's lovely.
But it is that, but it's taken a long time to get to that point where you go, oh, I haven't done much exercise. Well, you know, does it in the scheme of things, I do some. Yeah. Do I do enough? You know, it is giving yourself a break once in a while.
Absolutely. Definitely. Yeah, we can't be 100% all of the time. You know, there is this 80-20 rule, and if you can do 80% consistently, and that's the word as well that is everyone talks about is consistently. Consistently. Oh, I can't even say the word now.
Consistency.
Thank you for that. So then you look and say, well, I've done that, and that's in the past. I'll move forward, and you know we'll do what we can do tomorrow. And that's the only way that we can actually live with ourselves. Because if we keep looking at the past, we can't move forward. You know,
and today,
we need to.
It's today. I had a bit of a mishap. Tomorrow, I might have a good day. If I don't, what's going to happen? You know.
Yeah, your intentions are good.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should go for a sauna on that note. So you have saunaed with us before. Yeah, and you enjoy the benefits of sauna? Love it. And so it fits in with your cold water therapy. So nice. And are you finding it helps you mentally, physically, or a bit of both? Or
I think it's probably a bit of both, isn't it, really?
It's definitely mentally, it's someone's pressed pause on your life. Okay, I can sit in here and I'm giving myself permission to relax.
Oh, yes, that whole giving the permission.
It's that, you know, I would say for me it's a winter thing.
Yes.
In the summer, you know, in the summer I like just being out in the water. But definitely in the winter it's that, oh, I can stop for a minute, but I still get my fix of cold water.
And it's lovely, obviously, to be at the Quays and to use the facilities here, but equally it's nice to go and visit other places. I mean, we've been to some wild and windy places. Storms and all sorts. So it's nice to sort of branch out of it. But it is that pressing pause on things.
I think the nice thing is you can't take your phone in. So actually, nobody can get hold of you, and you know that, and they know that, and so you can just relax for an hour and just enjoy your own thoughts and the conversation that sort of buzzes around you.
Exactly.
But I think as it's becoming a bigger thing, you can. I mean, we've done some wonderful places with sauna and dips. But there are so many lovely places popping up. So while you're in the sauna, you can. I mean, we look at this beautiful lake, but we've done it at a beach before. We've done a couple of beaches, but there's more and more places, and you just get to look while you're having that pause. You get a lovely view at the window, and it's all those different places.
The nature
that you
connection
can,
again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, let's do it. We'll see you round the fire. So here we all are, having had a lovely sauna. Everybody feeling good?
Yeah.
Warm and cosy?
Yeah.
Lovely. So we're going to have our quick fire rounds now. So Louise, when you go into the sauna, hot or cold first?
Hot.
When you come out of the sauna, hot or cold?
Hot. Definitely today.
Okay. Sarah?
It's weather dependent.
Okay.
Today, definitely hot first, then cold.
Okay.
But if it was during the daytime, if it was warmer, I would end with a cold. But today I ended with a warm.
Weather dependent. I like
definitely
it.
Weather dependent.
Over to you.
Yeah. So, what is one health thing that you do but you don't particularly enjoy?
Kefir. I drink kefir and I really don't like it. I know it's good for your
gut
health.
Yeah, it is.
But I really don't enjoy that. But that's I both love walnuts. I'm fine with that. But,
Okay.
Kefir is just not working right now.
Okay,
Anything
well
for you,
done.
Sarah?
I think I'm not a natural fruit eater, but I make myself have some kind of fruit or a few kinds of fruit every day. So yeah.
That's good.
Put the tick in that box. Fantastic. So, what's one thing that you found yourself doing in midlife that you thought you would never do? The younger self never thought you'd do it.
This is for both of us, isn't it?
Twice I have, and I always have had a real thing about being naked in front of anyone. I have since I was younger. And 4 years ago, they started doing a skinny dip for breast cancer, and having had a friend who went through it, I wanted to do it, but it was the fear with doing that because there are lots of people. And the first time we did it, literally, somebody said, right, robes off you go. And these amazing women, we all just took our robes off and went. And I've never looked back since. I do it twice a year, and it's the most empowering, amazing thing. If you told me 10 years ago I'd be naked in front of hundreds of people, you know, posing for pictures and stuff like that, I never would have done it. And that's something, I think you get to the age where you go, why does it matter? Look at all these amazing women of all shapes and sizes.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's for amazing cause, you know, so
I think that goes for both of us, doesn't it?
I think it goes for all four of us.
Definitely, yeah.
Fantastic.
And then, what is your guilty pleasure at the end of the day?
it's got to be TV. I think there's a lot of things yours, I know what yours is coming. Just watching ridiculous mind-numbing TV that I know, doesn't help me in the slightest, but just sit in and give myself an hour ago,
See, I end up watching TV, I end up asleep. Because I just fall asleep. So my guilty pleasure, and I don't do it every day, but maybe, at the weekend or things like that, would be an espresso martini.
No.
So there you go.
Everyone's got their vices. And if that's as bad as it gets, I think you'll be all right.
Well, I haven't told you about... No.
But it's also taken the guilt out of it. It seems like, I could say chocolate, I could say TV, I could loads of things. And you kind of go, is it my guilty pleasure? So, what's the worst that's going to happen kind of thing.
Exactly.
Good. So would you recommend sauna, hot and cold therapy to people?
Hugely.
Without a doubt. Yeah, absolutely. You all need to get out there. All need to get in those saunas and dip. It is amazing. It's brilliant.
Excellent.
I'm glad you've enjoyed our little Sauna Sisters session.
Yes, indeed. Yeah,
that's great.
Until the next time.
Yeah.
We'll all say
fantastic.
Goodbye.
See you in the sauna.
See you in the sauna.